cut my head off. So.
Did I?
Oh, yeah.
Whatever. If it's focus on the car, that's honestly traditional.
So I'm gonna focus it?
Yep.
No.
It'd be weird, honestly, if you could actually see our faces instead of all this free advertising I'm doing for the Rome company
Yeah.
for a tent that I paid my own money for.
All right.
So, Brock, do you want to talk about that time we adopted a dog for 8.5 hours?
Yeah. Yeah.
4.5 hours of which we were asleep.
It was a good, very fraught story.
We went through a lot of growth stages with this dog in the brief time that we knew him.
It was like the reverse 7 stages of grief, I think.
There's not that many.
Really 1 stage of grief, 4 stages? 5?
5 typically. I mean, it's possible that you have a more granular grieving process than the average person.
Well, I don't know. I don't grieve. Except today when I ran over the chipmunk.
Oh, that was devastating.
That was devastating. So yeah, we rolled into campsite. What was it, like 4 in the afternoon or something like that?
Yeah, so like almost like 6 p.m.
Was it 6?
By the time we got in, so we basically were in the middle of nowhere. We didn't really have much going on or any real activity to do at camp, so it was fine that we were getting there pretty late. All we needed was a place to make dinner and sleep. We rolled in pretty late, and it's like, well, this is not the best campsite in the area. It's all just, the middle of nowhere, essentially. And so I was like, well, I'm going to go drive down the road real quick, see if there's another spot down the road that's better. I'll come get you if it's good. Otherwise, just stay here.
So you left.
So I drive off, and as I'm driving away in my rear view, I see a creature running into the road. And I thought it's like a forest grouse or something. One of these very dumb animals with no self-preservation instinct that I think want to get run over.
Like negative. Like they actually are embracing death at all times. It's kind of like Jesse.
Right, yeah. It's more of a...
similar intelligence, too.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, she's not even listening.
Fuck, God
damn it. These sick burns would have been so much better if she was paying attention.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
you drive off.
I see that in the back of my review. I drive off. The next campsite is occupied. There's a van there, and I was like, that was the good one. And then there's probably like another campsite, but it's way down there, so I'll just head back. The one that we had was easy to get to. It was flat. It was open.
Pretty.
We're like, okay.
Yeah. So it's interesting. When you were gone, the dogs were like interested in something, and we thought there was something out there. We were actually making jokes about how you gotten eaten by a skinwalker, and by the time you would get back, it'd be like, "Hello, my favorite humans."
Hello, skin units. I see we're upright today, as we often are.
Very inanimate of you.
Yeah. What shall we eat? Perhaps your blood and skin? That's what I could go for.
This van.
5-year-old shocks. Anyway, okay. So on my little excursion, the van that I saw in that camping spot was like a big white panel van converted to sort of like a van life van. That's nice.
That's
whatever.
pretty gay shit.
Yeah, didn't like see any people. Yeah, I would never own or drive a van myself personally. But anyway, and I was like, yeah, it's on the creepier side of normal, I would say, to see a home converted panel van, and it was parked slightly oddly, whatever. Anyway, so I saw it, I was like, all right, cool. I drove back. And right as I was approaching the original campsite, there was a small dog just sort of trotting down the road in my direction. And we don't know exactly, but this dog looks like it's at least mostly Chihuahua and maybe some other stuff mixed, or just like a larger than average
My
Chihuahua.
friends had this one. I swear this is the most common Chihuahua mix, where it's like this fucking big. It's permanently quivering because it's either yipping or at the verge of just combusting on the spot.
The biggest Chihuahua that I've ever seen, when I was younger, my mom had one that lived to a depressingly old age, and that was a long-haired Chihuahua. Gorgeous, fearsomely intelligent, total raging cunt. But yeah, this was a short-hair Chihuahua and maybe something else. We don't know exactly. But
small.
He's running past me, and I was thinking, like, okay, maybe he's going somewhere, maybe someone was like riding a bike or whatever. So I slowed down, waited for him to start passing me, and as is often the case with me, I started talking to him. I said, hey, don't get run over, whatever it is. And then he was like kind of walking around. I was like, well, it's kind of odd to see an unaccompanied dog here, considering that like nobody else is around essentially, other than like a van that's a mile down the road one way and an RV that's a mile down the road the other way. And so I was like, well, maybe I'll get out and like see, look at him. Opened my door, tried to walk towards him, and he sort of like bypassed me and then ran and jumped into my truck.
What the shit is that thing? Wait, that's a fucking dog.
It's a dog? Are you sure it's not a baby coyote or something?
No, that's a dog.
It is.
What the shit?
Did it run away from someone's campsite?
Yes? Or something?
Does it have a collar?
Oh, and it just jumped in Hop's car.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Do we have a new dog?
We just owned...
And he did not waste time. He jumped into the truck, onto the seat, onto the center console, into the back, laid himself down on some luggage. And he was like, I'm happy here. This is where I wish I was all the time. I just adopted a dog. It just came running down the road in the middle of the freaking woods. And then it jumped into my car. And now I have him. So yeah, right back at camp, we're like, okay, well, we have a dog now. Relatively clean, extremely, obviously very sociable. The fact that he just jumped into my truck and just was like happy to be there. So we're like, okay, well, this is clearly not like a stray or a wild dog. And then you start to kind of wonder, like, is this a dog that got lost while somebody was camping or hiking? Is this a dog that somebody abandoned because they didn't want it anymore? Because like that's depressingly common, especially with pure breeds, where someone like a relatively, like a Chihuahua is like a designer dog. It's an expensive dog. It's like, did somebody buy this expensive dog as a gift and then be like, oh, it turns out we don't want it, or it nipped one of our kids, guess we'll throw it out in the woods or something. So we're like, shit, what do we do with this thing?
Especially when it started peeing on things.
Well, that was later.
Right, but I'm saying,
but yeah,
that was a thought that went on throughout
certainly,
the night.
You think you have this tiny dog, and you're like, it can be indoors like a cat, and that's not really a great way for a dog to behave.
So, by the way, if you notice us looking approximately that way, a good bit, there are
4 white women taking hours worth of selfie video from the ridge above us.
Which, for the record, with a little bit of introspection, how different are we? We just took something in the neighborhood of 700 gigabytes of selfie footage of us shooting guns.
That's film. That's cinema. These women are at best posting to TikTok, at worst Facebook.
And yet their footage is going to be appreciated far more than ours.
True. Because there's women in it.
There's women in it, and
they're all white instead of only 3/4 white here.
And very drunk and young. Dangerously young, like to the point where I don't think they should be drinking.
Mm-mm.
Or I don't know, maybe they're...
It could be they're just so stupid that they appear drunk even when they're sober.
That... I'm 50% sure that's the case. Anyway, back to our boy... well, actually, so we're gonna... why did we call him Sixes? I think
so we decided to call him Six-ish after the name of the trip, because we've been basically shooting a lot of cartridges in the 6mm genre. Arc, Creedmoor, Grendel.
6 is the future. 6 is the future.
The way of the future. The way of the future.
Come is future.
But we also had this running gimmick at the range day of approximating things, like guessing wind calls. Guessing dope charts.
Maybe we should stop using the word "we" here. That's a bit.
I think we had a lot of terms, and you embodied some of them, including vibes-based wind calls, vibes-based hit calls.
But what was I referring to?
I forget. So the name of this trip, we always give our trip stupid little names. This one is Operation 6-ish, or whatever. Yeah. And so we're like, let's call this dog 6-ish.
It's a good name.
Or 6 for short.
Yeah, 6. And then I brought up the fact that that's a young adult novel main character.
I haven't read it because why would I have? Kind of creepy. Maybe you should go talk to those women about it.
They'd know.
Women. They probably would. Anyway, so we're just thinking, like, what do you do with a clearly domestic dog that is either lost or abandoned in the woods?
Hops, all dogs are domestic.
As a breed, as a creature, a dog could be born in the wild.
It was very obviously like, grew up in company of humans.
Loved to be petted, loved to sit in a lap, loved all that stuff, whatever. Refused to eat and drink at first, but maybe because he was very, very scared, or that lent to our theory that like he got lost this afternoon. He's not like been out here for a while.
It was very obviously he wasn't, because
He's pretty clean.
it was a hot
Not
day.
injured.
Shit, Nova gets eye goop on a long walk, and this dog was pristine.
Well, he is an expensive breed, and Nova is a normal dog.
I think Nova's a little more suited for long walks, at least previously, before her leg shit the bed.
Yeah. So we're thinking, okay, well, it's late. We need to cook some dinner and then make camp.
We're
and
not
then
going to abandon
sleep at some point.
So you tried to check out a number of camps, but no
Yeah,
one.
so that was the thing. We're like, well, we can do more work on this tomorrow. Like, we can take him somewhere, we can ask around or whatever. But right now, what can we do in the moment? And the only thought was like, well, there are some other people camping out here, a mile or so away. Maybe it's their dog, and we can just like bring him. So I put him in my truck, and I drove back to the nearest person that we'd seen, which was the big white van. And the whole drive there, he sat in my lap, just like not a care in the world. Seemed very, very comfortable there, very happy to just be sitting in my lap. And maybe that's because he was a little stressed out. But
He's a very lovey dog.
yeah, he's very, very affectionate. Drove him back to this other campsite. Approached the white rape van. I did tell Brock, like, if you hear gunshots or you don't hear anything, either way, come running. I will have been murdered.
Oh, you did say that.
Yeah, you didn't pay attention. You don't listen to me. But
Well, fuck. Okay.
yeah.
The counselor did talk about that.
Correct.
Yeah, okay. That's.
But yeah, so I came up to this van. I was like, hey, is anybody here? And then this guy came out, and I was like, hey, are you missing a dog? And he's like, no, I have a couple dogs of my own, and these two just like gorgeous. Like one was like a border collie or something, like the long hair
I
and,
love
the crystal blue eyes. I mean, gorgeous dogs. These two like dogs ran out, and they like were stoked to see me. I guess they were super friendly. And he's like, well, I got my own two dogs. Don't know anything about that. I showed him the dog, and he's like, oh, seems cute. Good luck. Good looking out, I guess.
I already have two dogs. I don't.
Do your best, but yeah. So we just pulled over to another camper in a van to see if Six belonged to those people. And no, they already had two of their own dogs as well. That was the only idea that we had. So we took him in for the evening. We tried to feed him, give him water. Tried to make him a little nest in the bed of the truck. We slowly introduced him to the other dogs, both of whom are much bigger than him. One of them much more high energy than the other.
So it's funny because he hung out with Nova. Nova's actually really good to introduce frailer animals or dogs or whatever. Because
she wants to sniff.
She sniffs and then doesn't give a shit. So honestly, in aggregate, the Six wanted to hang out with Nova more than Nova wanted to hang out with Six. Maze, on the other hand, is completely cracked out on high octane puppy energy.
Yeah, she's intimidating. I mean, but you could just kind of tell that, like, he was nervous about the other dogs, but he wasn't afraid of them. And, like, when they would come over, he was sitting on the bed of the truck, and they would come over, and he would be looking at him, and he'd be interested. Like, he was going over to look closer, he was wagging his tail a little bit, he was kind of, whining a little bit. So it's like, okay, he's not, like, completely unwilling to hang out with other dogs.
That was probably the most well put together Chihuahua mix I've seen in a while. Usually they're a little bit more of a clusterfuck ball of nerves.
Well, our theory is that he was very young, so maybe he had not learned that sort of toxic Chihuahua behavior yet. I don't know. But anyway, so we had a really lovely evening with our new dog Six. We were talking about, like, we can go ask around if anybody's missing one. We can go, like, take him somewhere, or we can try to find a home for him. What do we do with this guy tomorrow?
We went through the full gambit, right?
Yep.
I mean, he was very cute. And
we decided, like, Brock's clearly adopting this. It's his other dog. He needs another dog.
I've been wanting
clearly.
a small dog.
He's been talking about how he's like, well, if I adopt another dog, it'll be a small dog. So we're like, hey.
It was
Nature
cute.
provides, right?
He fit under everyone's shirt.
And yeah, he would sit in laps. He would bundle up in your hoodie or whatever. Like, yeah.
Where's boy?
He's hiding inside my
Uterus.
luxuriant blue alpha hoodie.
This video is sponsored by
The male pregnant emoji. Turns out it's real. It's based off of finding a tiny dog in the woods alone by himself for no reason in the middle of goddamn nowhere and deciding to just adopt him for a while.
Good morning.
Oh, your ear's all screwed up, dude.
Hey, Six.
Lovely little dog. Like, I'm sure, given time, he'll become a yippy little cunt bag like every other Chihuahua. But last night, he was a lovely companion at camp.
So we went to bed.
I had tried to like convince him to sort of like make a nest out of a army blanket or whatever, and he kind of didn't want to do that. He wanted to be close to people. So I was like, okay, I guess he's sleeping in my tent. So I lifted him up in here, and he spent the entire night in like the crook of my arm right there.
Okay, dude.
Well, not the entire night, because at 4 a.m. I was woken up by a horrifying sound of somebody screeching out like, whoop whoop, whoop whoop. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? And also there was an unearthly light coming from down the road. And I was like, oh my god, what the fuck is this? This sounds like every Wendigo or Sasquatch story that I've ever heard on YouTube. And so I peeked my head out the tent. I looked down the road. There's an incredibly powerful light shining towards our camp. And there are people screaming, whoop whoop. But as they got closer, the vehicles are moving closer. I realized it's a pair of trucks. It's a group of people. They're moving down the road. And they're screaming whoop whoop to get attention, which is not what you do for dogs. And then they're following it up by, here Jack, come here Jack, where are you Jack? And I was like, oh shit. And as our dog 6 kind of heard this, he perked up, he got really excited, started wagging like crazy, whining, wanting to get down from the tent. And I was like, well, okay. Still not 100% comfortable with the situation. It is 4 o'clock in the morning. I see no signs of activity from Brock's van, so I don't know if they're really prepared for this.
I sleep with earplugs and we have a fan.
Well, there you go. And so I was like, I don't really want to like walk out into the fucking road unarmed or armed, because either way, bad. So
Wendigos don't take well to 300.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I took 6, and I lowered him down the ladder, set him on the ground, and he took off like a bat out of hell in the direction of the vehicles. About a minute later, I heard them go, oh my god, good boy, good boy. You know, so they got their dog back. And also another thing we talked about, was like, what kind of fucking dog shit person abandons their dog, you know? Like, either on purpose or like they lost their dog and just like left without him. Either way, you're like, that kind of sucks. But then, if you're sending out 2 trucks and a search party at 4 in the morning, all right.
That's a little faith restored.
Not too bad, yeah. Like, I appreciate that. I think you guys are going to take care of this dog. So
honestly, his temperament does seem to indicate he was...
Yeah, he did not seem at all abused or anything. So
even not even abused. Like, dogs take after their owner, and this was a very lovey dog from a shit-ass breed that tends to be fucking douchebaggy.
Honestly, a shining example of his breed. He's a credit to his breed.
We miss you, 6. I'm not calling you Jack. That's a dog shit name for a dog.
Come on, be creative. Although maybe, if they're designer dog people, he might be their 20th one, so who knows?
Yeah,
maybe they're out of names.
Or maybe they're into Jack Daniels.
Could be. But
the shooter from Thunder Ranch, of course.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, that's our story of the time that we adopted a dog at 6 to 7 p.m. and then unadopted him at about 4 a.m. So.
Hop, where's 6?
His people came and got him at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm surprised you guys didn't hear it. 2 trucks were moving slowly down the road, and there were people walking with them, going, whoop whoop, come here Jack, come here, yelling out.
Jack is a terrible name.
I like a good name. His name is 6. They
His
should
name
know
is
that.
6.
I didn't get the chance to talk to them, but he perked up. He got super excited. He was like whining and getting all waggy and exciting. So I let him out, and he just took off running towards him. And then I heard him go, Jack, oh my God, Jack, you're here. I don't know if they even got close enough to see our vehicles, but I think this is pretty much where they lost him, and they came back looking for him. And if they're out at 4 o'clock in the morning with 2 vehicles trying to find their lost dog Jack, they're probably all right people. So. That's for our dog for slightly less than 10 hours.
Yeah, but he was cute. And this is the best possible ending.
And until they showed up, he was curled up right against my side.
Jack, this one's for you.
Cheers, Jack.